Good afternoon. I'm Dennis Galucki. Welcome to the 585th Imagine Greater Buffalo program and our 206th Imagine Buffalo YouTube production, hosted by our wonderful cultural resource, the Downtown Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. Thanks for joining us today. This program is created by the Center for the Study of Art, Architecture, History, and Nature, or C-SAAHN, as I like to pronounce the acronym, and ImagineLifelongLearning.com. Now, before we get started, a little housekeeping. Everyone watching will be muted and your video turned off. If you have a question or comment, please type it into the chat box, and we'll go through them at the end of the presentation as time allows. We are recording this program, so you can watch it again later on the Central Library's Facebook page and YouTube channel. And please, we hope you share the link with others. Now, on to our featured speaker. Joining us today is William Butler, president of the Black Rock Historical Society. And he's here to share details of their Erie Canal 200 anniversary celebration, which the county has been celebrating and continues to celebrate. Special day tomorrow as our boat sails off to New York City. So welcome back, William. And Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself real quick, and also about the background of the Black Rock Historical Society. You have one of the great windows displays of history, I think, in the area, right in your front window of your office, for all the world to see. So Bill, take it away.
Thank you, Dennis. Again, my name is Bill Butler. I'm the board president of the Black Rock Historical Society. I've never actually lived in Black Rock, but I worked at the Army Corps of Engineers for 38 years here in Black Rock, and became involved with the Black Rock Historical Society as a volunteer in 2014. I would like to thank Imagine Buffalo and the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library for inviting me to speak with you today. And I thank you all for those, thank all those that have signed in today. Today, I'd like to share with you sort of an after-action review of our most recent Erie Canal Bicentennial event, our Erie Canal Heritage Market at Market Square. I am not seeing my slides.
Okay, so you have the PowerPoint open, right?
Yes.
So you want to go back in Zoom and hit the green share button at the bottom there.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And then click your PowerPoint.
Yep.
Yep,
There we go. Sorry about that. Ooh. There we go. All right, here we go. First, I'd like to briefly introduce you to the Black Rock Historical Society. We are a 100% volunteer organization dedicated to preserving and sharing the history of the communities of Northwest Buffalo, those communities being Black Rock, Grant Amherst, Riverside, and West Hurdle. In 2019, we received our absolute charter as an education corporation from the state of New York, as well as designated a 501c3 tax-exempt corporation. We receive, in addition to our membership dues, our individual donations, and annual fundraising, we receive valuable grants from several organizations throughout the years. Erie County and the City of Buffalo also provide us with annual funding for our operations and educational programming. So as taxpayers, I want to thank you all for that contribution. We are located at 436 Amherst Street in the Black Rock section of Buffalo. Our museum building has been granted local landmark status by the City of Buffalo. It's the former Spolka clothing store. Our museum includes both permanent and rotating exhibits, along with a research library. We have weekly visiting hours and also offer group tours on request. This is always the first question. Here is an early map of Black Rock drawn by Peter Buell Porter in 1913 that actually shows the Black Rock. It's at the left end of the drawing. The Black Rock is actually Onondaga limestone with gray-black chert inclusions that were ideal for making tools for the first people living along the Niagara River. A 100-foot wide ledge of the rock protruded about 200 feet into the Niagara River and stood about 5 feet above the water line, where it formed a natural jetty and protected harbor for boats and fishing. This natural harbor was cited as one benefit for locating the western terminus of the Erie Canal at Black Rock. Alas, the outcropping was eventually blasted away and excavated to make way for the Erie Canal in 1823. This 1911 etching shows the natural harbor created by the Black Rock along the Niagara River. The construction of the Erie Canal was a defining event in the history and development of the village of Black Rock. Despite losing its competition with the village of Buffalo to be the western terminus of the canal, the Black Rock economy still boomed. Thanks to readily accessible and inexpensive transportation and water power, Black Rock mills, foundries, and lumber yards thrived and rivaled those of its neighbors in Buffalo. Black Rock Historical Society actually began our Erie Canal celebration back on June 21st, 2017, when we staged a mock debate at the Buffalo History Museum. Our cast included Councilmember Dave Franzek, who portrayed Buffalo proponent Samuel Wilkeson. Mark Schroeder, the city comptroller at the time, portrayed Governor DeWitt Clinton. Councilmember Joe Golumbek as Black Rock proponent Peter Buell Porter, and Erie County historian Doug Kohler was our moderator. It was a very well-attended event and a lot of fun. As I had mentioned, construction of the canal reached Black Rock in 1823. This photo shows the original canal lock at the foot of Austin Street, which operated until it was replaced by the current Black Rock lock in 1914. Here's a photo of the Erie Canal in Black Rock looking north from Hamilton Street. It also shows the lock at the foot of Austin Street. Here's the ferry dock at Black Rock with a bridge crossing the Erie Canal and leading to the Market Square in the background. So our plan for the Erie Canal bicentennial event was to design an event that would celebrate the uniqueness of Black Rock and its important relationship to the Erie Canal. To do this, we decided to recreate a canal-era open public market at Market Square at the crossroads of Niagara Street and Amherst Street, a place which formerly represented the busy core of the historic village of Black Rock. Visitors would experience the opportunity to meet and shop with local vendors and craftspeople, as was the daily routine of village residents and canalers at the Black Rock stop. On land donated by Peter Buell Porter to the village of Black Rock, Market Square historically served as a bustling marketplace where village residents would purchase their daily provisions and meet and greet their neighbors. The square, now comprising open space parkland surrounded by architecturally intact historic properties of the Market Square Historic District, provides a relaxing location within the urban neighborhood. Market Square was the commercial core of the village, where lower Black Rock residents could purchase foodstuffs, home goods, tools, equipment, and their daily essentials. The square and its contributing resources now have local, state, and national recognition as an important historic place. Here are a few of those surrounding contributing resources that add to the historical integrity and architectural quality of the district. This is a Black Rock Savings and Loan Building, now the home of the Black Rock Riverside Alliance and Black Rock Harbor Center. Firehouse number 15, which was the former home of the poet Robert Creeley. And St. John's Church and the adjacent Esser House. Please note that St. John's is now available for sale. Today, Market Square is marked as a gateway to the Black Rock neighborhood. So on Saturday, August 23rd, we set up shop at Market Square as we welcome guests to step back in time to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the opening of the Erie Canal. Importantly, this event would not have been possible without a New York State Canal System Tourism Events Grant from the New York State Canal Corporation and Erie Canalway National Heritage Corridor. We also received valuable sponsorships from several local businesses and organizations. The Black Rock Riverside Alliance owns and maintains the park adjacent to Market Square and provided us with its free use. Young men and women from Explorer Post 716 helped maintain safety and security for the event. And the Tonawanda Kenmore Historical Society helped us educate at the event. Scott Norris from Explore Buffalo led a bike tour from Canalside to our market in Black Rock. And also Mary Durlock from Explore Buffalo conducted 2 walking tours of the lower Black Rock Historic District. The League of Women Voters registered new voters and helped recreate a petition for the abolition of slavery, with guests using quill pens and ink for signing. I also would like to recognize our volunteers from the Black Rock Historical Society who shared their valuable time to plan, set up, staff, and tear down the event. For our vendors, we hired a consultant who helped us recruit a total of 9 vendors for the event. As you could imagine, it was very challenging to sign up vendors for a summertime Saturday afternoon event in Buffalo, but I believe that we had a very good success and a good variety of vendors to welcome our guests. Craftspeople and artisans demonstrated their skills for our guests. Here, master woodworker Jonathan Thornton. Jonathan carved much of the intricate details on the Seneca Chief, and he will actually be on board the Seneca Chief for their journey to Rome. Here is potter Doug DeBoth with a mobile potter's wheel. Both Jonathan and Doug have workshops and galleries right here in Black Rock. Live music with the Canal Era Historic Perspective was provided by local musicians Yellowjack and Tyler Bagwell. And in our children's tent, we introduced our younger guests to age-old games such as marbles, jacks, and pickup sticks. We also had coloring books and activity books for them as well. Guests were treated to a horse-drawn wagon ride along the streets of the lower Black Rock and Market Square historic districts, where significant buildings and architecture were pointed out along the way. We were blessed with beautiful weather and enjoyed connecting with many enthusiastic and appreciative guests. both residents and visitors in Black Rock. By and large, we are very pleased to return Market Square to its historic role as we joined in celebrating the 200th anniversary of the opening of the Black Rock of the Erie Canal. And now, if you don't mind, I would like to share some information on upcoming events. Number one, I apologize if you are learning about our Market Square event for the very first time. We tried our best, as best we could, to get the word out. And hopefully, and perhaps you might have suggestions on where we might promote these types of events in the future. We did put ads in our local newspaper, the River Rock Times. We posted on the Convention Visitors Bureau website. We published a little notice in the Reporter's Notebook in the Buffalo News. Yeah, so any suggestions you may have, and some of the, also we have a Facebook page and our website containing information on our event. So if you have other venues that you go to search out these types of events, please let us know. So just last week, we opened an exhibit, another Erie Canal themed exhibit, the Reclaiming the History of the Towpath. It features the history of the Erie Canal towpath from its inception in 1823 to its final destruction in 1957 with the construction of the Niagara section of the New York State Thruway. This is a standing exhibit that will be in our museum for many months to come. The exhibit features historic photos and original artwork that capture the atmosphere and importance of the towpath to the Black Rock and Riverside communities. Thursday, September 2nd, we will begin our fall speaker series with David Chatt from the Lockport Locks Heritage District, who will discuss the famous Flight of 5 locks. Subsequent speakers will discuss how the Erie Canal influenced the development of farms, markets, businesses, and industries in Northwest Buffalo. These presentations are all free events and open to the public. Again, those are the first 4 Thursdays in October. I'll begin at 6 p.m. Finally, we'd like to invite you to attend our annual fundraiser, a tribute to the Showboat Restaurant. The event will be held on October 12th at the Cave at Sportsman's Tavern located at 71 Military Road. And we are celebrating the history of the Showplace Restaurant, which was formerly located on the Niagara River at the foot of Hurdle Avenue. The event will be emceed by local music historian and author Rick Velkowski and feature performances by past showboat performers, the Barroom Buzzards and John Volby. Again, thank you for welcoming me to your event today. Please visit our museum and our website, and which will have all information on upcoming events. We have articles and news to share with everyone. Thank you again, and I will be open to any questions.
All right, unmuted. Hey, Bill, thank you very much. Well done. You know, I'm going to ask a basic question, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but in your estimation, over the years, what's the simplest answer for saying why was downtown Buffalo chosen over Black Rock some 200 years ago? What in your estimation was the turning point of that debate, which raged for several years, I know?
Well, physically, it was the improvements to the mouth at Buffalo River, Buffalo Creek. where a recurring sandbar was moved from the mouth of the creek. And also harbor structures were constructed by the citizens of Buffalo to make Buffalo River, Buffalo Harbor a viable harbor. As with a lot of things, there was much more economic and political power in Albany too that helped persuade the Canal Commission to select Buffalo as the western terminus.
You had mentioned that wonderful debate that was held at the History Museum back in 2017, and I'm sure that was to mark the actual first shovel going in the ground around July 4th, as I recall, to begin the whole process of building the Erie Canal.
Right, yeah, correct. And I learned after the fact that that debate raged on for many years after, and it wasn't really decided until the canal actually reached Black Rock in about 1823.
Debate in Congress or the state level, it doesn't matter. It's always been going on, and differences of opinions. And we're living in that decision basically in terms of Buffalo, Black Rock. I've often thought it would be interesting to speculate in your mind how Black Rock would have looked, given its geography and everything else, and Buffalo would have been the suburb, basically, I guess, if a decision went the other way around. So interesting to think about, and part of the fun of history like that. I mentioned to Bill before, he has, and I wish you'd describe it, Bill, a window, a storefront, used to be, you said a clothing company, I believe. And it's just an incredible display of the history of the area and the highlights with images and dates and captions. Describe just a little bit of that, because it allows people literally, whether you're open or not, to really gain an insight into the history of the Black Rock area. But describe it a bit if you can.
Right. It does give us 24/7 visibility, historic visibility on the streets. Every day I'm at the museum, I see people walking by and reading it. There are a series of eight historic photos attached to our window, and beneath that is a historic timeline which traces the history of Northwest Buffalo from the very first residents, the Kakwa neutrals, the Seneca, to LaSalle's visit to the Niagara frontier, all the way to the present Black Rock that we see today.
Interesting. Well,
it was all, I should say it was all funded through a grant from the Paul and Helen Ellis Charitable Trust. That's
appropriate to mention. So what I noticed in the Buffalo News yesterday, when they were publicizing this particular program, several other regional historical societies in the area have talks, programs commemorating the Erie Canal's 200th anniversary. And I think it was the purpose to have you, and I'll have another Town of Aurora group, the Friends of Griffin Mills, describing what they did in August to commemorate the canal, because I think it's these small groups that are really throughout the state, from what I understand, really pointing to and celebrating the Erie Canal. So we'll do our best to have a few more programs before year's end. And on December 9th, our last program for the season, for this year's season, we're going to have the folks that took this trip, which I think kicks off tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, on the Seneca Chief, and goes down the Erie Canal and then all the way to New York City. And they will highlight on that December 9th program their excursions. So we're doing the best we can to remember and archive here with the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library the the way we celebrated, including the Black Rock Historical Society today, the way we celebrate an event like the Erie Canal. It's my encouragement to folks to support these smaller groups that exist. As Bill said, pure volunteers, no paid staff. And just the belief of a lot of people that recording our history and noting it and describing it, making it come alive for future generations is what many of us are drawn to try to do. That's my take. Bill, do you want to add anything further to close us up here? The importance of neighborhood.
Dennis, we do have a few questions I want to get to.
Oh, good. I thank you very much. Take it away.
First of all, Bill, can you just confirm, is the Black Rock Historical Society involved in or have a presence at the Seneca Chief launching tomorrow?
Are we involved tomorrow at all?
Correct.
No, we are not. No.
Gotcha. And can you just confirm what are the hours of your museum, and is there a cost for admission?
No, we are always free. Our hours are, we're open every Thursday and Friday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then on the fourth Saturday of every month, thanks to initiative by Dennis, the 4x4 program, we are open noon to 3. That's every fourth Saturday. And we're always open to, if you have a group of people that would like to stop by, please email us and we'll set up a private tour. We'll open up the museum as we can.
Perfect. Thank you, Dennis. Those were the questions we had.
Well, those are great. I didn't see them in the chat box, and I'm glad folks sent them in. Bill, I started to ask you if there's any way to anything else you think important, especially the role of the volunteers. I mean, this is organic. It comes from within a community to want to tell stories about the community. And here at C-SAAHN, our hope is to encourage people in all these small parts of a community to tell their stories. In the suburbs is one thing, but right in the community itself, in the city, there are several communities, and they have histories. And maybe you can just finish up by again complimenting all the good people that have helped you take an idea and build it into the Black Rock Historical Society.
Sure. We are very fortunate to have very energetic and motivated volunteers. We originally began as a committee to the Good Neighbor Planning Alliance through the Black Rock Riverside Alliance in 2011. And many of our founding trustees are still involved in our organization. I just encourage folks, if you don't feel like you're a history expert, then you don't need that. We have plenty of needs, plenty of skills are wanted. I honestly learn more here at the museum than I teach. People are always coming in who lived here or whose parents, grandparents, great-grandparents lived here and just want to see what we have to offer and also share their stories. So it's very rewarding. And final note, I'll just say that there is a study that volunteerism actually lengthens your lifespan. So if you want to stay healthy and long-lived, please volunteer either with a historical society or any other organization you choose.
Well, and I'll mention you also partnered this year with Explore Buffalo, and they really, coming off of last weekend, had downtown Buffalo, where you were everything was free. Dozens of buildings that people went in. It was proud to have been a sponsor for the family trail, 10 different organizations. So they have put together volunteers that learn the story and then are telling the story. And truly one of the best connections for doing so It's been said second only to Chicago's architecture foundation that we've modeled many things after in developing a tour and storytelling mechanism like Explore Buffalo. So good people over there. I'm glad they were part of your program here this year, and I trust that relationship will continue for years to come as well.
Dennis.
Feeds all together. So folks, let's wind this up here and tell you that next week our feature speaker is going to be Sarah Herbst. That'll be September 30th. Now she's a board member for the Western New York Sustainable Business Roundtable and the Senior Sustainable Sourcing Manager at Rich Products. So we're going to hear about how one major corporation here in Buffalo looks at sustainability at all different layers and then connects it with a not-for-profit group that is connecting other businesses, very unique to our area, to have the Sustainable Business Roundtable, and they will be part of that story will be part of next week's program. So I'm Dennis Galucki, wishing you all well. Thank you for joining us today. Be well and good day.